welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm doing a Vintage Cube draft. This is still the Final Fantasy run of the Vintage Cube. Might be the last one I do this season, might not. Another insanely mediocre opening pack. Yeah, just looking at this pack is just tough. There's not even like an upper end premium card. I guess if I really wanted to roll the dice, I could take Lion's Eye Diamond, which is essential and archetype defying in like 2 archetypes and unplayable everywhere else. I think the safe pick is Deep Cavern Bat. Path to Exile is just a good removal spell. You know what? If you're going to put me in this position, I'll try it. Lion's Eye Diamond. I'll take it. Okay, here's some good cards. We've got Lelia the Blade Reforged and Counterspell and Arid Mesa that I would strongly consider. Dak Faden's stock has gone down in the last few years. This used to be like the best non-power card in Cube, but those days are gone. He's still fine though. I think I want to take Counterspell. I'm not going to make decisions based on having Lion's Eye Diamond, because really the decisions you make there are if Yawgmoth's Will or Underworld Breach are in the pack, you take it. But outside of that, I think Counterspell is the card that I would like to have here. I've been doing a lot of red mid-range, and I'd just like to do something else if I can get away with it here. Fractured Identity, Hildebrand Manderville. This is a token thing. Stock Up is just good. Card advantage. Karn Scion is like a fine mid-range threat. I think I want Fractured Identity. Obviously, these 2 picks make it the Path to Exile in Pack 1, just the correct pick in retrospect, but I'm thinking more about this Stock Up though. Like if I do end up in a combo deck that would want Lion's Eye Diamond, I'd rather have Stock Up than Fractured Identity. Alright, I'm going to take Stock Up. That also doesn't commit me to a second color right away. Plagon is kind of fun. I don't think it's better than Cryptic Command. If I'm just blue pips deck, this is a fine card to have. Retrofitter Foundry is quite strong. This is a lot of artifacts. It can fall out of an Urza Saga. It's a good mana sink. I think I'd rather have Cryptic Command though. Brain Surge, Mana Leak, and then some other stuff. I'll take Mana Leak. If people are passing counter spells my way, I'll be that guy. Ooh, Displacer Kitten. That's a real card. This is a build around. This is an archetype defining thing. Very interested in it. The 3rd counterspell coming through me, but it's not better than Displacer Kitten. Okay, now I need some cool stuff to blink. Deck's coming together. Wow, Force of Negation, Saheeli, and Skullclamp are all cards I'm into here. I think I want Force of Negation though. Let me just put up a wall. Nobody's getting through anything, and then I'll win with whatever's left over. Right, Mightstone and Wakestone is very good with Displacer Kitten. Ledger Shredder is just a solid magic card though. I think I am going to take the Mightstone. And Meticulous Archive came back around to me, so did Thieving Skydiver. Urtai Resurrected. I think I want Archive out of these options. Just start giving myself the options of a second color. I'm not going to get that Fractured Identity back, but white does pair nicely with blue. Oh, pretty deep pack for me here. Portal I could spec on if I were to get a Tinker. That would be a great payoff. Brazen Borrower is just good interaction, and Kappa is one of the premier win cons if I do end up blue artifacts. I don't have a lot of artifacts yet. I think I want just the middle of the road blue card. Tar Pit is a solid land that also lets me splash a color. Ravine is technically castable. I'm unlikely to play any of these. I think I'm going to put Witherbloom Apprentice in my sideboard, just spec on that. If I'm not playing any of the cards anyway, I'll take the one that's part of an AB combo that wins the game. Ulamog, Mycospawn, Imperial Seal. Imperial Seal could be another Displacer Kitten. And if I do find Breach. Oh, the Chain of Smog was in the pack the whole time. Shit. I missed that one the first time around. Well, I have this, if I want it. Interesting to lock that up that early. Wow, Mana Drain, Underworld Breach. I have to take the Breach, but I really want that Mana Drain. Brain Freeze has not come through this draft yet. Yeah, having the Lion's Eye Diamond The reason you take this is you hope to open Underworld Breach, and I did. I'm a Brain Freeze or Frantic Search away from a combo deck. It really sucks to lose this mana drain, though. Hopefully I can get back Echo or Riverpire Verge. I'm asking a lot of this deck, color-wise. Ketria Triome. I do have all these colors in my deck. The question is, can I wheel this? Just having one of these, and then any fetch land that gets it, turns on Witherbloom Apprentice and Underworld Breach. I think I'm gonna just take the Discipline pick there. Grim Monolith. That is pretty good with Displacer Kitten. Jace Wielder is a win con if I find Brain Freeze. I'll get Jace back, though. I think I want Monolith. Metamorph's a dope one, too. Yeah, I'm taking Monolith. Base blue Grixis combo with maybe a singular forest in the deck. Something's happening here. Just put my combo packages off to the side. A Basalt Monolith is another artifact that jumps beyond mana. Good with Displacer Kitten, same as Grim Monolith. Get to untap it whenever you cast a spell. Baleful Strix is an artifact that just sort of exists in my colors. Stern Scolding's pretty good. I think this is Basalt Monolith for me. Tolarian Academy. Don't mind if I do. I've used basically this whole pack setting up the possibility of getting that card. Sink into Stupor is great. White is not really a color I'm in. It's the only color I'm not in. I would love to get Trinket Mage back on the wheel. That would be very exciting. That's another Lion's Eye Diamond in the deck. Balance. God, I love that card. I think I have to take Blood Crypt, though. And going into a 5th color versus supporting the colors I already have, I think it's Blood Crypt by a mile here. Overgrown Tomb. That's basically the same as Blood Crypt, but there's a Psychic Frog here. This is insanely late for Psychic Frog. No respect at all. And I'm a blue-black deck. I'll take it. Getting a Polluted Delta to just tie this mana base together would be nice. Ironically, Arid Mesa, that I think I passed in pack 1, would get all of my fetchables here. Wowie zowie Tinker. Okay. Well, my seat is open. Getting Psychic Frogs and Tinkers in the 7th and 8th pick of a pack is bonkers. Currency Converter is quite good. Hedge Maze would make the deck, but I'm not taking any of these cards over Tinker. Shame I didn't spec on the Portal to Phyrexia. And I don't really have a ton of artifacts. I have 4. Irakran Triome. I'm not white, but that is an Izzet dual land. Shadow Spear is literally an artifact I could put in my deck. Blackclear Cliffs is another swamp that casts Underworld Breach. I don't think I'm in the Prof's memory zone, though flickering this with Cat does draw a bunch of cards. I think I'm going to take Shadow Spear just out of respect for Tolarian Academy. Wastewood Verge, another land that casts Witherbloom, but Palantir, just an artifact. All right, I'll take it. Metamorph, Tanglewire, Jace all came back around. I think I'm going to err on the side of the artifact here. Stern Scolding. Ooh, Agatha Soul Cauldron. I like this card just fine in decks, and it's an artifact. Everflowing Chalice. Probably not playing either of these. I'll put Field of the Dead in my sideboard and Overgrown Tomb. I'm actually playing that. Sick. Okay, very interesting. Still looking for the Brain Freeze to bring my Breach combo together. Mox Sapphire. Oh, there's Frantic Search. I mean, that's part of the Breach combo, but I guess I can hope to wheel that rather than pass a Mox. This is the on-color Mox in a Tolarian Academy deck. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking it. Please come back to me, Frantic Search. I need you. Memory Lapse, Consider. Lapse is another counterspell. I have a lot of those. Consider does get 2 cards in with Breach. Like, I could have a really scrappy, slow Breach line with Consider. I think I will take it for that reason. It's like Breach, Consider, Displacer Kitten. That's something. Strip Mine. That card's just really good. Can I play Strip Mine in my 4-color deck? Probably. The alternative is Mishra's Bauble. Wow, that's really interesting. That would be such a discipline laydown to take Mishra's Bauble over Strip Mine here. Bauble is an Academy card, a Displacer Kitten card. It's a low-key Breach card. Alright, I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to take that. Gush, not really in the market for that. Sunken Ruins is pretty good for me. It gives me Psychic Frog. out of a swamp or an island. Probably not playing these other cards. White's the only color I'm not, and this is the wrong Teferi. It's Time Raveler is the one that can go off with my deck. All right, Sunken Ruins get in. Come on, Brain Freeze. Got a few more looks at it here. My Trinket Mage did not come back around last pack. Just remember that one. Who wants that other than me? Oh god, there's Teferi Time Raveler. There's also Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's Oracle becomes the win con if I get that Frantic Search back. You don't need Thassa's Oracle if you have Brain Freeze, but I mean, I could play Planisphere as well. I mean, this is an artifact that also pays off everything my deck's already doing. Teferi is an infinite combo with Displacer Kitten and either of the zeros in the deck, but white's the one color I haven't supported. Battlesphere is something I could tinker into, which I have basically no good targets right now. I'm going to take Planisphere. If I already had the Frantic Search, I would have taken Oracle there, but I don't. All right, Zagoth Triome is all the colors I am. Malcolm is just a card I can play. I can tinker for Trips Titan. And do I play Tinker just for Mightstone and Weakstone and then try to draw my deck? I really have not enjoyed Triplicate Titan in recent opportunities to play it. I think I'm going to take Zagoth Triome. Hallowed Fountain, wrong color. Cauldron Complete, that's a Tinker target, I guess. Coalition Relic, taps for mana, Darkslick Shores is a duel. Lightning Greaves, not really Greavesing anything. I think I want the Shores. Vamp Tutor. Did I get there? Or do I just take Bitter Triumph? I guess, like, I have Imperial Seal and some combo stuff going on. Yeah, I will take the Vamp Tutor. Frantic Search, we got it back. Okay, I have a Breach line now. I don't know what I'm doing with it. I would have to breach through my deck to then assemble Witherbloom Chain. It's not the worst thing imaginable. A Reanimate or a removal spell. I guess a removal spell. I'm woefully unequipped for those. Sinspara. These are colors that I am. And I could cast this. All right, I'll take it in the maybe zone. Sephiroth, Loot, Gush. I don't think I'm gushing. I could cast Loot, conceivably. All right. Thassa's Oracle came back. Okay. I have a deck. Trip Titan on the wheel and Crop Rotation to the sideboard. All right, so I'm going to have to cut some of this stuff, but I did end up with a deck. All right, just making piles of packages that I have here. 2 Vamp Tutors. That feels like a lot of that. I don't think I have to play Shadow Spear just for my artifact count. I got a bunch of zeros and 2 monoliths. And then Mightstone and Weakstone. I can flicker this with Kitten to draw 2 cards. Then tap it for mana, flicker it again, cast another spell. That's an endgame situation. I'm base blue with 5 black cards, 1 red card, and 1 green card. I don't think I'm playing Meticulous Archive. I got 0 fetch lands. I think I only saw the Arid Mesa in that first pack and didn't look at another one in the draft, or I would have really been after it. Let's consider as part of the Breach stack as well. Did I just miss on Tinker? Do I not play the Strips Titan? That is a whole angle of the deck, though. It's a really hard build. 2 red sources that are not fetchable. 2 green sources that are not fetchable. Nothing's fetchable. I have no fetches. I have to be base blue to support Counterspell, Cryptic Command, all that stuff. Am I out of my mind for trying to make Chain of Smog happen now that I have this Breach package in here? Like, I could just not do this. Then I don't have to worry about green mana. Then I wouldn't play Overgrown Tomb. Zagoth Triome is still an Underground Sea. Yeah, getting the Thassa's Oracle back lets me actually try to win with Underworld Breach rather than loop a bunch of cards until I find a different combo. Maybe Palantir of Orthonk is just kind of a random thing. It's an artifact which I care about, but I'm not going to flicker it with Kitten. It doesn't help me combo. Well, right now, this deck would have 15 lands plus Mox, Chalice, 2 monoliths. Right, do I need to play an actual swamp? I have Zagoth Triome, Sunken Ruins, Darkslick Shores, Blood Crypt. That's 4 black sources for 2 black cards. Yeah, I'm not going to play a swamp. That's an island. Okay, 3 color mono blue artifacts. Sinspira, do I want to play this card? Oh, I cut the forests, so no, probably not. But I could just put the Overgrown Tomb back in the deck. This is pretty wild with Displacer Kitten. You could send a lot of stuff. I don't think I'm going to mess with that, though. I'm going to focus on being a breach deck. All right, this is my deck. This was probably the hardest build I've done in a long time. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 1. This is a pretty fast Tinker. I'm going to keep. I'm mostly just playing Darkslick Shores and passing, and then based on what they show me, I can decide how I want to move forward with this Vamp Tutor. Underground Mortuary, okay. I don't have any Slam Dunk in the blind Vamp Tutor targets. Like, there's no Ancestral Recall or anything like that that I could just get when everything else is equal. I could Vamp for Mightstone and Weakstone. Just play that. I think I'm going to go for Tinker here. Upkeep Vamp. I'll just take a look at my deck. I'm pretty sure Tinker is the eject button here, though. Yep. All right, Tinker. Draw for turn. Slam Triplicate Titan. Hope it's good. All right, there it is. Green and black don't have great answers to this one. Okay, I mean, if they just combo over top, that's pretty good. Do they have Archon of Cruelty? Most reanimation targets... Okay, yeah, they do have literally Archon of Cruelty. And Vamp Tutor. All right, so they have the Nut Reanimator deck. So they're going to Archon. Trips Titan dies. I get 3/3/3s. I discard Island. I Brazen Borrow the Archon and move forward with life. Try to get it done. All right. Here are my golems. Oh, that's lazy. Come on, Magic Online. There are 3 different distinct golems for this card that exist in Paper Magic. Frantic Search. I think I'll save that for later. Petty Theft this Archon. Not the Necromancy. All right, get the beats in and hope they can't rebuild. I'm going to play out the Sunken Ruins even though I have this Frantic Search. I have counterspells in my deck that cost 4. Good ones. Liliana of the Veil. Okay, so that can knock out my Frantic Search and re-entomb. Okay, cool. I'll kill the Trample Golem. All right, they're more worried about my board than getting my hand empty. That's cool. Do I want to search here? No. I'm going to attack them and Liliana. And I have Brazen Borrower that can add and put lethal on board here. Pillage the Bog. Okay, so they're going to look at 8 cards. They can put 1 in the hand and the rest on the bottom. They're looking at about 1/3 of their deck here. If they have Show and Tell, that could be rough. Okay, they didn't do anything. I'm going to cast Brazen Borrower in the end step. Bitter Triumph, discarding Archon in response. All right, so they've gotten their Archon back in the graveyard. I need a counterspell. I'm going to Frantic Search here. All right, we found 2 counterspells. Easy. Discard these 2 artifacts. Okay, hope they can't beat double counterspell. I can't cast 2 counterspells, but I have 2. Like if they have Duress plus Exhume or something, I do beat that. Lotus Petal, 3 cards left. No way, Jose. Glad we found Counterspell, because Force Negation wouldn't have got that one. And Bash. Overcoming an Archon of Cruelty is nothing to sneeze at. Baleful Mastery should be in. Phyrexian Metamorph's great. Agatha's Soul Cauldron, passive main deck card. I could tinker for that this game. Shut down their primary plan. My deck full of counterspells is really good here, though. I think I might shave Basalt Monolith. Like, I'm getting a little reckless with my artifact count, but I do need these spells. Hell yeah. Keep it. Watery Grave tapped. That means Mana Leak's going to be on for whatever they got in the future. Oh, that card's really good. I could have played Zagoth Triome to try to get Psychic Frog down turn 2, but I'm going to take my time, make sure I don't get comboed out. Dothy Voidwalker. I don't really want that card to happen to me either. I'm a Breach deck. Untap Black Source. Oh my god. All right, Agatha's Soul Cauldron. The passive complete crushing for their deck. They started tapping mana and then changed their mind. Alright, I'm going to cast Psychic Frog. And I can give this +1 and all the abilities of Dothy Voidwalker, all the activated abilities of Dothy Voidwalker. I could sack it to cast things out of the void. It's not nothing. Show and tell, huh? Okay, that resolves. I'll put in the Might Stone. I can copy their Archon if that's what they have. Portal to Phyrexia. Alright, well I could copy that too. I'll draw 2 cards then, if that's how we're doing it. This targets, right? Target creature. Alright, so that's just destroy Psychic Frog. Alright, that's gone. And I'll go to my turn. I could do a lot here. I could copy their portal, but I think I can do better long term. And I think cycling this Bauble, Crabomination. Alright, that card's pretty good. Got a handful of interaction though. I'm just gonna be patient, take my time. Okay, draw a card for Bauble, another counterspell. Exile Psychic Frog so they can't have it. Though I suppose bouncing that with Cryptic Command is pretty dope. But so is having Cryptic Command in my hand. Ketria Triome. I'll play that out. Now I have red for Breach if I find it. I could use Metamorph to draw 2 with the Might Stone. But I'm really just not feeling like I'm under pressure to do anything here. They might emerge Crabomination out of the portal now that there's no creatures in the graveyards. Or they might not. Up to you, opponent. Sunken Ruins. Alright, I think at this point I'm going to stop playing lands and start padding out my Frantic Search. They've made it to 6 mana. I'm going to get my Cryptic Command on while I can. Counter draw. Just looking for action to move this game forward. Exile Crabomination. Baleful Mastery. Alright. I'm going to Frantic Search with Tolarian Academy involved. Discard Sunken Ruins and Island. And I'm pretty sure I could cast this. Yep, I can cast Trips Titan with Counterspell still up here. Or I could just copy it and have 2 of them. I think I'd rather have Counterspell. I can copy it next turn. What's the rush? Hedge Maze. Kept the card. Alright, once again they started tapping mana, then changed their mind. Combat. 9 coming through. I think I would like another one of these. Let's just put lethal on the board. 2 trips, Counterspell up. Vamp Tutor, go nuts. Even like a Damnation or something doesn't beat me here. Alright, yeah, they looked at their deck and realized they have nothing. Sweet. On to the next round. That was among the most satisfying, delightful Magic I've played in a long time.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 2 with a turn 2 Psychic Frog. I'm going to keep turn 2 Psychic Frog and turn 3 Psychic Frog. Triome pass. Opponent's got 7 cards. Now 8. Island, Mox Emerald. Got a little Mox Gaming over there. Currency Converter, sweet. Alright, first appearance of Underworld Breach. A card that I enjoy. Please don't have Stern Scolding. Cycling Lorien Revealed, which creates currency. That's a pretty sweet play. It's not Counterspell though. I'll take it. Blue is one of the colors, though, that can handle a Psychic Frog. Just bounce is really good against this thing. Red is really bad at beating a Psychic Frog, mostly. Okay. I'm going to play this Island and this Astrologian's Planisphere. I'm doing in this order for a reason. If I play Planisphere, then I can consider get a trigger, consider puts potentially 2 cards in the graveyard to jump Frog. And then if Frog hits, that's another trigger. I could have a 3/3 right now. They can make a 2/2 out of the currency converter, so I have to plan how I want to navigate this. So they're making the 2/2. I'm going to consider before blocks. Frantic Search. The card is very good, but the Breach can refire it. That does double trigger my hero token next turn, though. Yeah, I could just draw Frantic Search and discard Grim Monolith to Psychic Frog. Yeah, I'll keep the Frantic Search. Go ahead, block. Yeah, if they have a bounce spell here, that's not ideal, but Psychic Frog. Makes them have it. Cool. Hope I don't get comboed out. Very close to doing something here, just need a red mana. And it's so stupid that Psychic Frog gets +1 counters, not even +1 until end of turn. I mean, obviously this card's broken and banned in Legacy and everything, but still just seeing it in the wild is distressing. Vamp Tutor. Alright. I could vamp now and draw the card with Psychic Frog. Am I just like vamping for Blood Crypt? Fascinating. Okay. Well, I'm going to attack and see if they do anything before blocks. Alright, I'm going to use Vamp Tutor here to get a +1 counter on my hero before damage. What is the best get? I could also just pad my hand. I could put Counterspell in here. They're building up to something. Yeah, I mean, it's unsexy, but I will just take Counterspell and enjoy cracking them to death slowly with my value creatures. Got a lot of islands over there. They did not convert currency in the end step, and they could have. That's scary to me. All right, an island. Do I want to play this? I don't think so. All right, I'm just going to attack with my creatures. Keep putting them in the position where they have to do something about that. All right, they're down to 10. Or am I getting hull breached? Shauna's Tidebinder. Well, I don't really want that to happen either. But I don't think it's worse than... No, okay. This turns off Psychic Frog, but it's still a 2/3, and I have this other 3/3 in play. And if they are setting up a big Tinker or a big combo turn, I would rather just not tap out into that. How about that? Right, now they're converting currency. Discarded Ponder. That means their hand has action if they're not worried about Ponder looking for action. Chromatic Star is okay. 3 cards left. Academy. We have similar tastes. An attack. Does that mean I'm getting upheavaled or what's going on? A lot of mana floating. You wouldn't have played your land before upheavaling, though. That wouldn't make sense. Oh, what do I know? Right, I'm going to counter this. Or at least try. Mana drain. Gross. Okay. We've been heaved up. I think that sequencing was a little backwards, though, because now they don't have a land to play. They can dump some of these things back out, but not the cleanest execution. Yeah, like imagine that same turn, but now they play Academy. Ooh, speaking of. All right, Triome. I have to discard some stuff. It's going to be one of these islands and probably another one of these islands. All right, Delirium Academy, you're my Huckleberry from now on. I get 2 mana from Drain. Deshana's Tidebinder and a bunch of mana are the cards that are in their hand right now. They misclicked and played the island instead of the Academy. Yeah, that's tough. Displacer Kitten. I like that one. Well, Psychic Frog, get back in. I know they have Tidebinder for Frog. And Relic of Sauron and Currency Converter can both move cards around a lot. Plus the Chromatic Star is an investment in just a card whenever they want it. Brazen Borrower. All right, do I want to play Planisphere pre-combat? No, that doesn't matter. I'm going to attack with Frog. I'm prepared to discard cards if I have to. All right, Frog hits. Then they Tidebind it. We knew that was coming. Planisphere. And Academy is good for 1 now. I could make it 2 next turn with the Metamorph. They're starting to loot cards away. They had some stinkers. Planisphere is a pretty sweet one to flicker with Displacer Kitten too. Just keep making heroes, go wide. The heroes are not artifacts, unfortunately. They're just colorless tokens. Alright, still attacking. Still not blocking. Snapcaster Upheaval. Reset it all. They're activating Currency Converter. Putting another island in the cash register. A Plains, uh-oh. I don't like new colors. Expedition Map. I hope they don't have another cool land to tutor with that. Okay. How ready am I to go crazy? Probably not quite. And if I frantic search, that puts 2 counters on hero token. If I metamorph Relic of Sauron, that's a bunch of mana. Oh, and that's red mana. Okay, I found a line. Phyrexian Metamorph is Relic of Sauron. Now I have access to Underworld Breach. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to frantic search with a red floating. And if they don't have interaction, this hero token could be lethal by the time I attack. I discard Chalice and Kitten. Untap 3 lands. That's a 3/3. All right, Underworld Breach. Thanks for the layup. Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, you better. Okay. So that is gone. And I have 2/3 mana. All right, I got a little bit of work to do here. If I can get enough mana to equip the Planisphere to Psychic Frog along the path here. All right, exile, land, Chalice. Discard land and Brazen Borrower. Untap 3. What happens if I escape Grim Monolith? Does that do enough? I think it does. All right. Grim Monolith, exile, Kitten, Island, consider, Grim Monolith, equip, Psychic Frog, Frantic Search, exiling everything that's left. Frog gets bigger. Discard. I mean, Mightstone can kill Tidebinder. I want the counterspell, so Bobble definitely discards. And I think I have to discard the Mightstone. Untap 1, 2, 3. I have Stock Up here. 4 mana. Stock Up ends up in the graveyard, so I could cast Frantic Surge again after this. All right, Tinker. Is that somewhere I want to be? Is Trips Titan a line here? I could Tinker for Lion's Eye Diamond. That doesn't sound that good. Mox Sapphire is a bunch more mana with the Academy. All right, I'll take Mox Sapphire, and I guess I do take the Tinker just because nothing else seems that good or important. And then exactly enough left to Frantic Search one more time. Mana Leak, Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, so I untap 3. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3 artifacts. It could be 4. I think Tinker, or no, Mana Leak's not going to help me here. I think it's Mana Leak, Lion's Eye Diamond. And then I'll have 1, 2, 3 to tinker with. Okay. I'll be able to tinker and hold up Cryptic Command. Frog's at 5. Tinker. Oh, I get to Breach again after this. Or Search again. Because I'll have 3 cards in my graveyard again. Grim Monolith gets tinkered away. I'll get Triplicate Titan. Just because I don't want to see that card along the path here. Frantic Search again. Discard Soul Cauldron and Force of Negation. Untap 3. This is so close to lethal. Frantic Search. Exile 3. Am I going to be 1 short? Or no, I can literally cast the Cryptic Command. Yeah! Alright! The Breach line did it. Astrologian's Planisphere payout for Underworld Breach. That was sick. Okay, so we're in some sort of big artifact ramp academy mirror. They have Upheaval. My massive supply of counterspells is pretty good for this already. I don't really have sideboard here unless... Wait, why isn't Creeping Tarpon in my deck? I just like misclicked that for the entire league and no one told me. Chat, where were you? This card should definitely be in my deck. I better fix that between rounds. Okay, well, Creeping Tarpon is a win con and also a dual land that's just supposed to be in my deck. I could try to Witherbloom them, try to sneak that in. I think my deck with the counter spells and the proactive combo is just the right way to go, though. I'm going in with the change that should just be in my main deck. There's that Breach again. I'll keep... They'll think twice before playing a copyable red source now. Island go. Mana Tithe is in the cube, which is annoying. Ooh, not ready for this. Do they have a good weapon? Yeah, just the best one. Got it. Okay. All right, this game's going to go a lot faster than the last one. Cryptic Command is eventually an answer to Cauldra. I will keep it. Thassa's Oracle. And I'll play it. It can block. And it's a little card selection along the way. Lion's Eye Diamond, Darkslick Shores. I actually don't want either of these. Right, decline both. They're gone. Cauldra only exiles the creature if it's still in play after damage is done. So I can absorb 3 damage. Oracle's in my graveyard where it belongs for Breach. This buys me a turn. Block. Currency Converter. I can counter that with Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Soul Cauldron, we've made it to Cryptic Command. The Germ can hit me one more time before I get a shot at bouncing it. But we know they play counterspells. Big beats. Relic of Sauron. Alright, they turned on my Breach. If I could draw the Metamorph again. Alright, I'll play Sunken Ruins. They can almost just equip Cauldra for 7. Like, they just need a land and that happens. So I'm not going to... Or I think they may have just misclicked. They just tapped to put a card into play that was not underneath currency converter. All right, let's see if I can get here on this cryptic command. Bounce, draw, the germ. This only buys me 1 turn because they have the 7, but if they have counterspell, it's so much worse. Force of Will. All right, that's a card in their deck. All right, and we're just about dead. Grim Monolith is not the solution. Displacer Kitten. I guess I'll be at 1 if I play Displacer Kitten. Worth a shot. I can block Stoneforge Mystic, go to 1 from the germ. And untapping with Displacer Kitten, anything's possible. Okay, they did tap correctly this time. Discarded Upheaval. I'm going to exile Upheaval with Soul Cauldron, so they can't make a 2/2. All right, any bounce spell, removal spell, burn spell, pump spell, haste creature. All right, I'm at 1, no blocks. A Time Walk does it, a counter spell is really bad. Chromatic Star, okay. All right, deck. 1 turn with Displacer Kitten to rule them all. Oh my god. Well, I mean, that is one of the best cards I could have. All right, don't have another counterspell, please. Mightstone and Weakstone, Flicker. It doesn't matter. All right, I guess I'll target Agatha's Soul Cauldron with this. Okay, something's happening. They're drawing a card. I hope that means they don't have an answer. No, stop tapping mana. I hope this is another loot. Okay, this is a loot. This will trigger currency converter, so Soul Cauldron has a target now. Right, exile Talisman of Progress before they can make a 2/2 out of it, because that 2/2 will kill me. Mightstone and Weakstone. -5 the germ. Tap this for 2. Grim Monolith. Flicker the Mightstone. Give Stoneforge Mystic -5. I think I have to kill this thing because they could just pick up the Cauldron too easily. And I guess I attack for 2. They don't have the mana to currency convert. Okay. Slow, steady turnaround here. If I were braver, I would have drawn 2 cards off this Mightstone and just hoped that one of my top 2 cards was a spell that then kills Stoneforge. Right, that can access the Academy. Do they have enough mana to kill me with haste here? I hope not. No, I don't think so. Like, a loot with Relic, put it under currency converter, make the 2/2 equip Cauldron. That's a lot of mana. Candelabra of Tawnos, 3 cards left. Oh my god. Their deck's so good. Oust! Oh no! That's bad. I'm at 4. Trinket Mage. Do you have more trinkets to mage for? Soul Guide Lantern. Oh, that's really good against the Breach in my hand. Bummer. Alright, we may have lost this one now. If the top card on my deck draws a card or buys me a turn, we might have a plan. 5, 6. They're 1 mana short of equipping Cauldron, just killing me here. They're going to convert some currency right now while my Soul Cauldron's tapped. All right, just an island. That's a treasure. That's not a 2/2. Preordain. They're not done yet. Top bottom. Tidebinder, just as another creature. Presenting lethal. Big draw, big draw, big draw. Amp Tutor. That's not a draw. All right. Game 3. Do I cut my Breach package knowing that they have Soul Guide Lantern? What does that look like? That's Breach, Oracle, and LED out. And I would probably go Overgrown Tomb, Apprentice, Chain of Smog. Baleful Mastery is really good too. Now that we know they have Cauldron there. Frantic Search still plays. And I could make this pivot. I just don't really have answers to a Soul Guide Lantern. And if they put that in play, it bricks 3 cards in my deck. Oh wait, I was supposed to cut an island because Overgrown Tomb is in here. I get to keep the Basalt Monolith then. Loot is another card that I can technically cast. Or I can now that I have the green in. I don't want to completely dilute my strategy here, but I did just cut the core interaction my deck's based on. I think it's necessary and correct to do it, but it did happen. All right, new combo. Let's go. I'll start with a Bauble, Glimmer Lens. They do have a whole creature side of the deck that we just didn't see game 1. Right, my colors are getting online here. Preordain. Planisphere, sweet. All right, something to do. I'm on the board. And I have Frantic Search that jacks it straight up to 3/3. Talisman of Progress. Soul Guide Lantern. Played around it. The cards that care about that are in my sideboard. Tinker. Oh my god. Well, we know they have Swords to Plowshares in the deck. That creeps me out a little bit. I can just jam it, though. Make them have it. Alright, I will. I get a +1 counter for casting Tinker. Or, no, do I not? Oh, I guess it's a cost, so it hasn't come in until... Alright, I guess I don't get it. I would have cheated in real life and put a +1 counter on it. Debate me. Alright, here's Trips Titan. Do they have Swords to Plowshares? Or are they in trouble? Urza, that card's quite good. It represents 2 blue mana right now. I don't think there's any basic unsummons in the cube. There's like Brazen Borrowers and stuff. Map. Alright, well, they might just cast their deck next turn. Drawing a blue source here would be a big deal if I can hold up Cryptic Command. Nice. Blue source locked. I might even be able to kill Urza this turn if I Frantic Search into a actual land. Right, Mox Sapphire, attack for 9. I think I'm just going to hold. Make them beat this Cryptic Command and this board. Academy taps for 3, which means using Expedition Map is net 1 mana. Taps for 3 so far, and we know they have Glimmer Lens in hand. I'm not worried about Glimmer Lens, though. That's not my problem. Creeping Tarpet's lethal next turn with the Triplicate Titan if they tap out here. Forensic Gadgeteer. Alright, I think that has to be okay. Just anything that doesn't kill me has to be okay because I can just win otherwise. Alright, so you get a clue. You get a Glimmer Lens. 4 mana showing, 2 floating, plus 2 untapped artifacts. They can investigate for 1. 3 mana. Alright, so investigated. 3 mana showing. Lethal on board. Okay, we know their deck has Force of Will in it. I'm going to tap their squad and draw a card. Okay. Now I have lethal without the tar pit. They do have a blue showing. We got the GGs in the chat. Do I believe them? Alright, they scooped. Cool. Those were GGs. That was genuinely... I think this is my 6th draft this season, and I think this was the best match I've had yet. GGs. On to the final trophy round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/TheResleevables. I'm on the draw in the final trophy round. I've got a turn 2 Psychic Frog. I actually have my red source for Underworld Breach. I'm in. Caracas. Figure of Destiny. Alright. Probably mono white is what's going on over there. I'm playing Psychic Frog on turn 2, so there's no reason to consider playing Island in case I draw an Island to play Counterspell with. That's just simply not going to be what I do. Okay, they left up mana rather than leveling the figure. So I have to think about Reprieve or Mana Tithe here. I would love to just shove this Tinker, but now I actually think I have to hold my horses. I'm going to play Frog around Mana Tithe. Okay, that got through. Thalia. Okay, yep. That'll do it. Guide of Souls. I got some stuff going. They'll probably flicker out Frog here to get their 3 or 4 damage through. Smell you later, Frog. Alright, opponent, please don't have Containment Priest. Okay. Leveled up the figure. Now Tinker becomes something I'm into. Frog's back. I will offer a trade with, offer Guide of Souls. A Swift Death. They didn't take it, just let me have the card. I'm still playing around Mana Tithe here because I have the land. Dark Slick Shores, Mishra's Bauble. Now I can tinker away the Bauble and keep my mana. Wish I had the Wrath, the Portal. Cycling Eagles of the North. All right, they scared me with that white in the end step. They can flicker the Trips Titan out and keep pushing damage through. White is the removal. Yep, Swords of Plowshares, as good as that's ever going to be. They tutored Sacred Foundry, then played a different land. All right. Figure of Destiny is awake. I did gain quite a lot of life off of that exchange. They have to decide if they want to flicker one of their own creatures to grow Thalia or just deal the damage here. Looks like damage is their choice. And they tapped out of Karakas here, which means Mightstone and Weakstone are alive if I find mana, which I did. It's like a Frog, get in. Cryptic Command, that's pretty good against creature decks, I've heard. Mightstone and Weakstone. I think I want to pick off Figure of Destiny. I'm not that worried about Thalia. Played another Mountain after having Sacred Foundry tutored to hand. That is some damage. Want to flicker my Mightstone? Nope. This Thalia has been in play for 3 attacks now and only blanked something once. I'm pretty into that. Okay, so here I'm going to try to thread a combo together using Cryptic Command and stuff to twiddle around. All right, I can use Mightstone to play Planisphere. That other mana can burn off. Wasn't going to use it for anything anyway. Frog hits ya. It's a negation. All right, Academy taps for 3. If I find an untapped island on stock up, I can still Cryptic Command next turn. I think this is worth the squeeze. Hell yeah. Displacer Kitten Island, those are good cards. I'll take them. Consider to the bottom. Island, and I'll pass. If they have that Reprieve or that Mana Tithe, we are in the spot where it's going to get me. Oscillate Pride. That's kind of annoying. I know their hand is Sacred Foundry right now. Yeah, I don't really want them having Oscillate Pride. I'm going to counter tap. I don't get to draw with this sequence, but the passive life gain makes it so that card would be a problem for me. All right, your squad is tapped, which means I get to keep my 3/3 for a turn. There's the Sacred Foundry. They are all in. Okay, I'm going to attack first. Psychic Frog, draw me a spell I can play. Oh, yeah. That'll do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Displacer Kitten. Float 2, play LED. Flicker, the Mightstone. This is when it's target of a spell. It's not a spell, it's an ability. -5 to Goldspan Dragon. And I could play Breach and Tinker here. What's left to Tinker for? I could just Breach stock up. All right, I'll play my land and then Underworld Breach. Flicker the Mightstone again. I think I want this one to draw 2 cards. Draw 2. Hero's now 6/6. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana to play with. Metamorph can copy Mightstone, and I can use Mightstone to play Metamorph. I can just use all this mana. Phyrexian Metamorph is going to come in as a copy of Mightstone. Oh, this is legendary. Whoops. Who knew? All right, I'll keep this fake one. Kill Guide of Souls. They have the Karakas, so I can't actually deal with Thalia here. If I exile 1, 2, 3, I get 1 more spell here. Or I can cycle Ketria Triome. That's good. That gives me an extra spell. Oh, that's an extra spell. All right, we're going nuts. But this isn't a Mightstone anymore. Shit. I should have kept the other one. I should have realized it's a legend. I've never had 2 of these in play before. Nobody ever has because it's cheating. Okay. Tinker can still get almost nothing. It's like Agatha's Soul Cauldron is the last artifact in my deck. Trips Titan's already gone. Thalia is not that scary anymore. I think I'm just going to cast Stock Up. Or Chalice can flicker. I could play Planisphere, get another hero, and then have 2 big things. Or, I guess, flickering Mightstone into Planisphere. Make sure this isn't legendary. All right, it's not. All right, I'm going to kick this 0 times. It's just a permanent. This is going to be Planisphere. Give me another wizard. Now that's a bunch more mana. 5 in the pool. Stock up. Oh wait, I could play the Mightstone. That works. 1, 2, 3 cards exiled. All right, I've played the Mightstone. I'm going to flicker this Planisphere again. That's actually Metamorph. And yeah, let's just keep going wide on him. All right, I will make you... Wow, they must have F6'd. Sick. We got away with one there. All right. I could stock up at least one more time here if I'm willing to dump this, but I think having Force Blue card is pretty good. All right. I think I've done enough. That was fun. I love Underworld Breach. What a magic card. I was not able to leave up Counterspell. I do have Force. I don't know what creature could deal 8 damage through this board, and opponent doesn't either. Okay, so they're white, or they're Boros Weenie. We saw Swords to Plowshares, which makes Tinker for Trips Titan a little worse than I'd like, but I still think making them have it is pretty dope. Baleful Mastery is the only removal spell that I'm not already playing. Got Basalt Monolith for that. I mean, this Basalt Monolith is the chunkiest of my artifacts, and the only thing that's not an actionable spell. Oh yeah, and this Creeping Tarpit that's just supposed to be in my deck. I'll make that change too. Forgot to change it between rounds. But now this is the last game and it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not gonna bring in Chain of Smog for this. Oh, Shadow Spear might be okay, but it's fine. I'm not really meeting them in combat. Keep. I'm gonna pass turn 1 with 3 mana in play. Soul Guide Lantern. All right, they got me. I won't be breaching this game. Island, Mox, Chalice with multi-kicker 1. All right. Suplex my Mox. All right, that exiles that. Okay. All right. They have done a good job countering my strategy early. Academy pass. I hope they don't have Wasteland, but I can't play around it. I don't have a different land to play. All right, and just cacked off that Soul Guide Lantern. Never mind that there's Breach in my deck. We need a card now. Descendant of Storms. I'm going to consider in response to this. Island. I actually want that. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana for next turn. I don't really want them getting any traction here. I will just mana leak that. Because I'm untapping with Cryptic Command, and then we can just tempo them out, I hope. Ooh, Witch Blessed Meadow. They tricked me. Figure of Destiny. They got it through the counterspell. There's Underworld Breach. I hope they do sink a bunch of mana into this figure, because Brazen Borrower is ready to feast. Got True Soul Zealot. I'm going to counter draw. Counter target spell, draw a card. Zagoth Triome. That eventually casts this Weak Stone. Displacer Kitten. Do I want to tap out for this thing? Alright, yeah. I'll make you have an answer. I will not block. They leveled that up. That's good. That's a mana that's not being used for anything I care about. And they just shipped it back. Insane. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I just have to Weak Stone here. If I get Mana Tithe, that's not great. How much time am I going to spend playing around that, though? Alright. Tithe me. Come get it. I'm not going to flicker my Everflowing Chalice and make it worse. Okay, kill Figure of Destiny. And I'm not going to attack. Probably not going to block either. I just don't want to risk anything happening to this kitten, because if I untap with it, they can't ever win. I'm at 17 life, and I can flicker Mightstone at least twice. Yeah, no attack, sweet. Alright, I think we're just going to run away with this one. Wait, I can do better here. This is an artifact. Planisphere, flicker Mightstone. I'm going to draw cards. Just not even worried about this Ocelot. Frantic Search and Breach. I'm a red source away from going batshit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Frantic Search. I'm going to try to win the game here. Mightstone's going to draw 2. There's Thassa's Oracle. There's a red card, all right. Or red land. Island is gone. Thassa's Oracle kicks in later. Untap 1, 2, 3. And, I mean, this is just the dub, right? Shock and Blood Crypt. Float 2 mana. Do I want a Vampiric Tutor? I think I do. Yeah, Vamp Tutor. Flicker. Opponent has fully decided to go get a sandwich at this point. I'll draw 2 cards. Okay, what do I want? I could just put Counterspell in my hand to make sure nothing can go wrong. I could get Mishra's Bauble as just a free spell to keep the chain going. LED goes berserk here. Yeah, I think I want LED. And then Underworld Breach. Float my 2, don't forget. That could matter. Flicker Mightstone. And that is a straight line to Thassa's Oracle. Hell yeah, that was an awesome deck. Trophy with this 3-color mono blue artifacts splashing for Underworld Breach, Psychic Frog, and Vamp Tutor. If I could do exactly what I wanted in cube every time, it would look like this. I would have Tolarian Academy and Tinker in my deck, and then crazy loops to go nuts off of. I think Displacer Kitten is weirdly under-respected. I caught this really late in the pack, and I see it on the wheel all the time. Like, this thing is an archetype. It doesn't take much to go nuts. You just need, like, 2 or 3 permanents worth blinking in your deck, and something like the Mightstone shredding through your whole deck will get you there pretty quick. This draft was a delight, and the deck build was really hard, but 3-0, baby. Scoreboard. Everybody, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll be back with a cube next week. Maybe this will be the last one. Nobody will ever know. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.